Hi everyone. I am about to do my live on excessive sweating, but I thought I've got a few minutes to kill, so I'm gonna just introduce you all to the front of the salon for anyone that's not been down. Excuse the up close of my face. It's actually peeling. I've been going through some home peeling regime, and I'm absolutely dry as a bone. So this is our little place, and we've recently just had the front done, and our signs are due to change as well, which is super cute. We are at Railway Wharf, which back in the day was an old railway station, and our building was actually the little station that you collected, picked your got on your train. I don't even know what I'm talking about here. Sorry, I'm completely off piece, but I just wanted to show you the entire building. It's really pretty, and that's where we're at, on the corner of Westwood Close. So this building will be changing soon, and yeah, you're going to see some nice little things happening. So I'm going to take you back inside. I'm sorry guys, I know you probably don't really want to see my face. Hi Frank. So come on in. It's fairly dark, but we will be changing it to nice warm colours soon. So this is our little place. Here's our reception area. We've got one treatment room, which I have just made a complete mess of because I peeled some bedding off of it, but at a glance, yeah, I should have tidied that up before I showed you. And then our waiting area. So always nice and busy in here. And then here is our patient to be filmed, and Emma, one of our nurses. So yeah, we're going to do a video on excessive sweating and a quick demo of how the treatment looks and how long it takes, really. A lot of people tend to kind of inquire about it, go through a treatment at the beginning of summer just to reduce the sweating for the summer. It's quite a common problem with people, and some people don't really know what to do, and I know a lot of our customers have gone down the GP route, which can be really effective cost-wise as well. So GPs do tend to help. They will provide more topical products, so it gets put on to the skin and in the axilla. I'm referring to axillary sweating, and that will help. A lot of people find it effective, but not effective enough. So what we then advise is more of the cosmetic route, because we can use the toxin to relax the sweat glands, and by doing so it reduces the activity and the amount of sweating that you experience. So our patient is going to have, he's already had one arm done actually, as we're training Emma in doing the procedure. It's a really, really basic procedure, which is great. And as with all toxin treatments, prescriber consultation is needed before any treatment can go ahead. So yeah, it's really effective. It works quite rapidly. It's amazing. It's a life-changing treatment for a lot of people. And I know that sounds really cheesy, but actually, you know, if you're affected by something on a daily basis and it stops you from wearing certain tops or t-shirts or going out and doing things, then there's nothing cheesy about it. You know, the matter of fact, it's affecting you and affecting your lifestyle. So to be able to put a stop to it, I think it's amazing on all fronts. And we have quite a lot of customers that do have that treatment, and you know, they come in twice a year, so it's normally the beginning of summer. It lasts around about 9 months, so not a really big investment in terms of longevity, and then they come back in winter. Now, not everybody comes back in the winter months, because a lot of people, you know, they do it more for a cosmetic reason. But in terms of like the longevity of it, we tend to say, if it's a serious issue and you are continuing to sweat through the winter, then you have definitely got, you know, an extreme case of the excessive sweating. So having it done twice a year is going to still keep you comfortable and, you know, free from any sweating through the winter months as well, which sounds nuts because it's always cold. Yeah, and I just think it's it's a subject that people don't know if they can feel comfortable addressing, or if they want to, come in and talk to it, especially not knowing where they're going or who they're seeing, and what kind of information they're going to be given. So we will always try and support you if you have a strong case for NHS referral, and we can support that. And there are cases where funding can be approved for NHS cases. So it's not a case of saying you have to come in and have the treatment. If something that is quite severe, and your medical history says to us, look, we could help you find help elsewhere, then we can definitely discuss that and do what we can to support. So I'm just looking, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like the Joker with my red lipstick. My skin's peeling so bad that it's just leaking everywhere. First world problems. So yeah, keep an eye on our page. We're doing regular blogs, and the videos will be attached to them. So our patient has been numbed. Like I said, he's already had his one arm done, and we are just going to do his other arm. And the nice thing about this is the numbing cream is really effective, so it's pretty pain-free. We did ask him to shave his arms to make it easy, more for training and video demonstration. And that means, it looks a bit odd because he's a guy with shaved armpits, but he's my husband, so it's not that odd. So he's been a great model for us today. But actually, it's something that it's the first time he's having it done, because he's noticing he is sweating more, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Like I said, there's things that can be done, and we all have bodily functions that sometimes surprise us, and we shouldn't feel embarrassed about this incredible body of ours that is so intelligent in a million different ways, and it will do weird and wonderful things. But equally, science is super clever as well, and with thanks to many people in the industry, they've brought us these products that are life-changing. So I'll take you into the room, because I feel like I've probably talked everyone's ears off now, and I'll just do my demo. It's pretty straightforward. So let's go in, and I'll switch the camera around. So I'm going to pass the camera to Emma. You can move on it. Did it get washed off? Did it get cleaned off?
No, it's alright.
So you'll be super numb now. Let's have Frank's watching. Hi, Frank. So going through the spiel, I'm not going to talk about the drugs, the implications, or the doses for obvious reasons, but knowing that we would have done the consultation process, discuss the types of symptoms that the person's getting, how frequently, and the effects on lifestyle. So ideally, well, not ideally, but by us, we would have consultation, ordering the product, and then give it, give the person, I can't do two things at once, it's pretty talk and then work. Get the patient in. And it's quite nice because, I know I've explained this is my husband who's being a willing model. But looking at his arm, we've already prepped for today. Like I said, he's removed his hair. And we tend to follow the hairline and the pattern of the hair growth, because that's where most of the sweat glands can be found. So we will just treat this area with tiny little injections. And within a few days, that will start to work, and the person will notice a massive reduction in sweating. The other thing to be aware of and mindful of is, depending on the massive activity of sweat that the person has, is we might have some huge temperature increases. We do expect the body to produce a sweat, because it's naturally meant to do that. You shouldn't compensate anywhere else, and I know there are products out there that can be used where you'll use them topically, so on top of the skin, and then you might just start breaking out in huge sweats down the back or on your forehead or back of the neck. So there is compensatory sweating with other products, but there isn't compensatory sweating with this treatment. So that's a real plus, and a lot of people opt for this for that reason. So I'm going to begin my demo. Is the lighting better this time? Because last time the lighting was awful and I looked like I was in some kind of weird, it was like a red shot, wasn't it? It's like a bright blue. So, like I said, patient's numbed, hopefully nice and comfortable. This looks like a lot and it really isn't. It's a tiny amount, 1/5 of a teaspoon. And we're just going to concentrate on injecting into the hair where most of the sweat glands will be. So a little demo. Fairly comfy?
Yeah. It's quite painless, so it's good.
It's relatively quick, and I would say the treatment takes probably about 15 minutes. We've probably taken a bit longer because of all the talking. But in terms of getting it done, consultation is going to be 20 minutes, and then your treatment's going to be probably about the same. There are tiny little bits I think that you think, oh, I felt that one, but it's actually relatively comfortable. And then I'm trying to think of a subject as well as injecting and what I'm doing, because like I said, my multitasking capabilities are sometimes pretty awful. I don't know, do you have any questions about this? Is that anything you...
No?
No. Just looking forward to getting a reduction.
Yeah. The main reason I'm getting this done probably is I wear a lot of white shirts at work. Obviously the yellow staining on the white shirts isn't good. So hopefully this will help.
All the extra washing for me. But it is, you're right, the amount of sweat that you know, it's a natural process. It's nothing to be embarrassed about, and the sweating that comes out, you can't help, and they're thick cotton shirts, aren't they? And I know when you're in overalls, again, the sweating's probably even worse. So I don't know how many people are watching and if there are any questions, but please feel free to ask away. I mean, there's nothing, you can also privately message if it's something you really don't want anyone's name, if you don't want your name to be seen on the video, we completely appreciate that. And again, private messenger won't release any information to anyone else. So I can appreciate there probably won't be any questions on this. And I've probably answered everything that I need to in the chat that we had outside, but I mean, I don't need you guys to sit and watch the entire video because I'm pretty sure you get the gist. A little bit of redness, a little bit of downtime. I wouldn't say wearing deodorant today is going to be good. You're going to probably get a bit of a sting, and keeping the area clean, but you can resume normal activity tomorrow. So it's a pretty fast downtime in terms of what to expect. Consultations are needed with the nurse prescriber, so again, just making sure you're planning your treatment journey with us properly, and that's an opportunity for you to work out if this is right for you. Like I said, there are channels that you can go down, like the GP route, and we are equally happy to support that process if it really is a strong case for medical help and NHS help, because it's not very often that they do it now, just because of commission and funding, and obviously having to tighten their belt for a million different reasons. I mean, I'm not going to keep you to do the other half of the arm.
I just got a quick question for you, Alex, from Penny. It says, can you do this in the palm of your hands?
You can. So palmar hyperhidrosis is very common as well. And actually, me and Emma were talking about this earlier on. Palmar hydrosis is another form of sweating, and some people have that on top of the axillary sweating and on their feet as well. And it is really effective. It works in exactly the same way in the palm of the hands. We do say to have it done over a duration of 2 treatments, purely because it can leave the hand quite sore. But it's more just to leave you, so you've actually got one hand that's not hard to kind of get jobs done with. If you wanted to at the same time, you know, it wouldn't be a problem, but equally just as effective. And I think amongst the detail out there on excessive sweating, there's a lot of websites, and I will link in some of the websites into our blog, so if you keep an eye on that, I'll add those websites in for just reference and information. But it's such a huge impact on lifestyle. And I can always remember being at school, and there was always this one kid that had the super sweaty hands, and it just prevented so much writing, driving, all of those things that should come with, you know, ease. So it's definitely worth speaking to, you know, your chosen medical professional, or if you wanted to come and talk with us about it, then that's not a problem as well. Yeah, so thank you for your question. It's quite good because I'm sure there's plenty of people out there inquiring about that and where else can be treated. I know a lot of people that have this treatment on the forehead is they do report a reduction in sweating, and I know for a long time, and I know I don't look gym fit now, but I used to be very gym fit, and I would never sweat on my forehead. My face just didn't sweat. And then I actually realised, that's because I have wrinkle injections, and that explains why I don't get the symptoms. So yeah, it is. It's got an overall amazing outcome. Are you still comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that the armpits are quite sensitive because I had some skin tags removed off of them, and I can just remember thinking, oh, I felt that one. You felt that one, didn't you? But considering the volume of injections, like, I think you're doing amazingly, and if you can do it, then there's pretty much anyone can do it. So it's just a good demo to not feel too squeamish and scared away by a needle, because they're so small. The needles are absolutely dinky. Any more questions, Emma?
No more questions.
So for anyone that hasn't met Emma yet, Emma is our new nurse, and she's taken over our live. Do you have any questions, Emma?
I don't think I do. The only questions I had earlier was about treating other areas, but someone's asked that a great question, which is always good to answer. But guys, if you can, it's an amazing treatment to have, and if it means that you're going sweat free for up to 6 to 9 months is something to think about. Just being able to wear that shirt that you've always wanted to wear in a certain colour, or loads of reasons why. So have to think about it.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye. Bye.